After reviewing hundreds of sustainable business models, I want to give you the following 6 tips of what I believe can be improved. So defining a sustainable business is a design thinking problem because it's a fuzzy, wicked problem. And this double diamond design thinking framework follows 4 steps, and the first 2 are about defining the problem. And this is very important for sustainable business models to understand the problem, because sustainability is a complex systems approach, and we don't spend enough time on understanding the sustainability challenge, then the solution you're gonna develop is not addressing them properly. The second tip is on the triple bottom line. This requires understanding the hierarchy of how the triple bottom is interrelated with each other. Most people do talk about the Elkington framework or Venn diagram, where they're equal of importance. I argue the system of Cato is more correct, where the economic system is a subsystem of society, and society is a subsystem of the ecosystem, the natural ecosystem. That means society depends on the ecosystem and not the other way around. And when the ecosystem is damaged beyond repair, society and the economy will severely suffer from it. By not understanding this logic, the ecosystem will not be prioritized enough. Tip number 3 is to clearly explain your terminology and be aware of different interpretations from different sources. We talk about the triple bottom line, we talk about sustainability, circular economy. These terms have different meanings and interpretations by different people. Sometimes they are not understood comprehensively, and therefore a lot of wrong understandings and interpretations are made of sustainability and these other terms. If you write your business plan, do formulate what you intend to mean with any of those terms, because otherwise it's very confusing. If you read references, even academic sources, the definition of sustainability or circular economy can vary largely. In fact, there are more than hundreds of definitions of each of those concepts. Tip 4 is to stop planning for infinite growth. Businesses cannot continue like that because our planet has boundaries and we've reached those boundaries. The best we can do is replacing unsustainable polluting businesses with sustainable business. In that way, we can transform our economy and society to one that operates within the planetary boundaries of the natural ecosystem. Tip number 5. If you are a polluting, unsustainable business, then you can reposition yourself to make sure your contribution to society is done in a sustainable way. If you're a fossil fuel company, reposition yourself to an energy company, so you would be open to the concept of renewable energies as another product which is sustainable and has a better future for your business as well. And the last tip, tip number 6, is to be critical of the quality of your references. This is a very difficult one. Google Scholar is a good search engine to find academic sources, but not all its results are of the same quality. I'll present it by this search example on this slide. You see, if you search on certain keywords, a lot of results come out, and you should be critical of how recent the reference is. More recent is probably an indicator of better, because for some topics you need the most recent information. Another important indicator is the amount of citations the reference already has. That means other researchers and other people did cite this article on certain points they state. More citations is an indicator of quality, but of course the most recent references will not have many citations yet. Then a third tip here is to look at the quality of the journal. It's a very important one, but a little bit of a difficult one. Here you see the South African Journal of Animal Science. If you search that on Google, this journal name with the impact factor, you'll find the impact factor is below 1, namely 0.68. That's not very high, and I will not recommend to use any references below impact factor of 4. If you look at the second Google Scholar search result, it's a Journal of Health Policy and Management. That journal impact factor has an impact factor of almost 5. That's pretty reliable, it's good to use. However, if you look further, this is the Lancet. It's a very high quality journal with an impact factor of over 100, just as this one, JAMA. These are very rare, extremely high impact factor journals. These sources are really good to use. Now, not all references you will be using are easy to be found on Google Scholar, and not all of them are from academic sources. There's no need for that too. Industry reports and government reports can be of similar or even better quality sometimes. Government reports are, in developed countries, usually fairly reliable, but not always the best quality. Company reports, industry reports, you should be a little bit critical or quite critical on why are they making those statements. If it's a fossil fuel company, like, I don't know, Shell, they say fossil fuel is sustainable, you know they have a bias to say that. And therefore you should avoid sources with large self-interest to follow their statements. All right, these were my 6 tips. I hope they will be useful for you. Thanks.